This is one of the most industrial sites in Sydney Harbour. 70 years of coal, dust and noise, but today it's so quiet that bats are living through its tunnels and almost nobody knows it even exists. Come with me today as I'll show you how it got here. The coal, the protests, the bushland that grew back over the ruins, and the oldest layer of them all that they've paved over. So if you're new here, my name is Niz. I travel solo, following history, nature, and the stories most people walk past, showing you the corners of the world hiding in plain sight and maybe giving you the confidence to explore on your own. So parked on Larkin Street, walking through this reserve. I feel like it's a bit of a hidden gem in Sydney. I don't hear many people talk about it. Like me personally, I haven't heard about it, so I thought I would come here and shoot. I was out here a few weeks ago actually, shooting a completely different type of video. I'll link that above, but this place is just wild. I'm guessing this place must pack out during New Year's Eve for the fireworks. Just never really heard about it. And there's a complete foresty trail further down into the peninsula. So let's go through it today and explore. And I feel like there is a lot of history here, just it's not well known. Just spoke to an older couple here that actually live in Waverton, and they were saying it's actually quite a quiet suburb. Not right now, you can hear a lot of construction in the background, but the actual park here slash the reserve that connects to it, Waverton Park. Okay, so the park is called Waverton Park, same as the area is called Waverton. So the older couple were saying that it is a bit of a hidden gem, but they were saying at New Year's Eve, and I was like thinking about this before, it gets chocker, like it gets super busy. Obviously you get harbour views and the fireworks and everything's gone wild, but it's more of a family sort of area, so alcohol's not allowed here on New Year's Eve. But they were telling me before that ban came into place, it was wild and rowdy. Like a lot of young people would come here and just party throughout the night. The whole vibe's changed. It's become sort of a family spot. Welcome to the former BP site, part of the Waverton Peninsula Parklands. Yes, so this, you could sort of tell, used to be a bit of a storage tank, and you can see there's on that plaque there, tank 11, light diesel oil. So you could see it wasn't just coal, it was oil, it was diesel, it was just you know, a bit of an industrial area. It's completely rehabilitated and changed its identity in the last probably 30 years, since 1997. It's beautiful to see like a former industrial area turn into this real cool green space with amazing city views. So that was Waverton Park, and there's a few lookouts. If you look up Will Ashton Lookout on Google Maps, you'll see exactly where this sort of scenery is. You can just basically go there and have that cool view and experience the city. So I'm going to continue through Balls Head Reserve and see what's to uncover there. I know there's a bit of a community centre here. The coal loader operated on the western edge of the Waverton Peninsula from 1920 to 1992. It was dedicated as a public open space in 1997 by the New South Wales State Government. So it did operate from 1922 to 1997, so 70 odd years, and it's been turned into this sustainability area, and you can see on the side here, the community garden lines the whole area. I did read somewhere that this is one of the largest community self-sustainability areas in Australia. I've never seen these flowers before. What are they? Never seen this before. If anyone knows what this is, put it in the comments down below. But let's have a look at the view. Last time I was here, there was like this real old-timey ship. So let's just see what there is here. I'm not sure if you can see it, that's Anzac Bridge, the other bridge in Sydney that sort of gets no attention because it has its famous brother. So just off the side of the coal loader sort of hangout area, there's a little set of stairs that you can come down. So let's go down these stairs and get a better view of another little spot you can hang out, I guess. So the ship itself, the MV Cape Don, is Australia's last surviving purpose-built lighthouse, tender and navigational aid supply ship from 1963 to 1990. It's currently undergoing restoration by a dedicated volunteer team under the Sea Heritage Foundation. The ship serves as a training ground for students, naval officers and police, and has occasionally been open for guided tours. So it's just wild like how much history there is probably in this ship. So many people have made livelihoods and spent years on this ship, and now it just sits here, bit of a relic on Sydney Harbour. I just want to see this sustainability community area, like the actual visitor center. I don't think it's open yet, so maybe we can come back on the way out of here. Piano. I don't know how to play. Yeah. I'm not gonna embarrass myself. Construction of the coal loader was celebrated by many for its advanced engineering, but not everyone was happy. Balls Head was a popular destination for recreation among working class families around North Sydney, and some believed the natural headland setting should remain protected. Among the people who loved to frequent the place was the poet Henry Lawson. Henry Lawson was one of the most important sort of short story writers and poem writers in Australian history. That's just something that I learned in primary school. Lawson laments the construction of the coal loader in one of the first explicitly environmental protests against the industrialisation of Sydney Harbour. Wow, all the way back then we were calling this shit out. So here's the poem, The Sacrifice of the Bull's Head. I won't read out loud, but I'll put it in the links below if you're interested. I read something about these tunnels. I want to see where they are. I'll have a look around. Last time I was here I didn't manage to see that stuff. 100 tonnes per hour, what? 700 tonnes per hour by the 1920s. You can see what the facilities served. I mean, where's that going to? The UK, the Netherlands, you know, all over Asia, Shanghai, Kobe in China, in Japan, sorry. New Zealand ports and all the way to the US and Canada. So the Sunny Success, the last ship to depart the coal loader. So ceased operation in 1992. Crazy facility that just now has become a beautiful leisure area for Sydney locals. Let's have a look for these tunnels. Where are these tunnels? I want to see that. Head down the stairs, just on the right hand side of that signage, you get to see the tunnels, which I missed last time that I was here. Can you imagine like how many people built their lives working these tunnels, working this area? It's just so fascinating. Oh, you could walk through the tunnel. Cool, I'll come back to this. Let's have a look at this. The quiet, dark and stable temperature of the tunnel now provides an important seasonal roosting site for microbat population. These bats roost in the alcoves in the ceiling formed by the coal loading chutes. These small insect-eating bats are called the eastern bent-winged bat, which I'll put on screen, and are listed as threatened species in New South Wales. I'm trying to be quiet. If there is actual bats here, microbats, keep an eye out. I don't think I'm going to see them during the day. So I'm just walking through one of the tunnels. These are the chutes that were referenced in the other sign where the microbats are living in. Not in this specific tunnel, but I think number one. It's such a vibe. There's no one here. I'm here very early on a weekday. It's like 8:50 a.m. Imagine the amount of people that toiled here for years and years to provide for their families and essentially build this country up. Like without fossil fuels, coal, at the time we wouldn't have been able to prosper and develop this nation. So I'm not sure how stable this is. It's like I have a bit of claustrophobia. And when I say a bit, it's a lot. This massive tunnel, I'm not too worried, but it's always in the back of my mind, walking towards this greenery. So it's a nice little contrast. And then from here, I believe the Balls Head Reserve Trail begins. So I'll put it down below the All Trails itself. The All Trails link, I'll put it down below, but this is where the trail more or less begins. Boar's Head is one of the largest bushland remnants in North Sydney. It was still vegetated in the early 1900s, but amazingly, almost all of the original vegetation has been destroyed by 1920s. So this is the coal loader, and I think I'm here. So the path goes all the way through, loops around, and you can come back to essentially where I parked up here. So like Waverton Park is up here, so you can come through the coal loader, loop around and just see it all and come back around. So let's do that today. But you can see it's like borderline like an actual trail in the middle of Sydney. Like, I had no idea this was here. I'm sure a lot of people would have no idea. Like, it's so quiet, there's no one here. Like, there's no one here. It's crazy. Again, I am here on a weekday. Generally there isn't many people doing a bushwalk on a weekday, like, let's be real, but cool to see. Oh, dark a bit. What's all this about? Is that like an insect nest or something? I don't know, termites? If anyone knows, put that down below in the comments, but look how big that is. Like, I mean, you can't really tell, but look, it's massive. It's so wild, like when I say wild, like not as in crazy, it's literally wild. So let me know down below, do you know about this place? Is it something you've come across? Have you wanted to come here, or are you a local and then do you visit here often? Or am I just the one out of the loop? What's this? Some sort of artwork. I don't know, I can't really see in there. This little cabin. I read somewhere that there were some cabins here, some makeshift stone cabins where during the Depression, so in the 30s, people would actually live here, like a lot of the homeless people that were affected by the market crash. Essentially, they made this reserve just home while they weathered the terrible market conditions. Wow, look at this. Look at this spot. Holy shit. Wow. Unbelievable. So that's actually Blues Point Tower, which is been named like, I think it's been named like the ugliest tower in Sydney, a Jenga block looking tower. It's actually heritage listed, so it's untouchable. It is prime real estate though. You know, it is, you know, the nicest place more or less in the city to live. One of the nicest places, that is. You know, it sticks out like a sore thumb to an extent, but yeah, nice little lookout here. I'm sure there's going to be more of them, so let's continue onwards. So far enjoying it. I think it's such nice weather today on this winter morning. Looks like there's a bit of a picnic area here if you wanted to have a little barbecue, or I do think this is where the parking lot is if you do want to drive right up to Boar's Head Reserve. And where is the parking lot? Yeah, it's just here. You can park your car right up here. Well, these are all parking spots. All right, I think I'll turn back onto the waterfront and walk through the waterfront. Yeah, it's so green, so nice. And the views of the city are unbelievable. Who would have thought that there's this rugged, basically hidden forest. It's like a hidden forest in the middle of Sydney. I haven't been here on a weekend, so maybe it is busy on the weekend. Put it down below if you're a local and you know what the vibe's like. I read something about these watering holes. So from my understanding, these were dug out or chiseled out by the indigenous people to collect water, you know, eons ago. And I'm not sure how correct or valid that is. I saw a few people mention that online, but it looks human-made. When you can imagine, like, they were, like, obviously they had a view. I wonder what it looked like eons ago before all this construction. And oh, look at this guy. Just this little random mushroom just growing here. Who would have thought 10 minutes out of the CBD you have this crazy nature reserve? And it's all thanks to the good work of people calling out that we need to maintain this stuff, like Lawson, and the government actually listening. Oh, look at this guy. There's a bush turkey. Not sure if you can see him. He's just sort of frozen. He's gone for food or something. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, people up this side of Sydney don't really give a shit about them. We don't have these guys on my side of Sydney. Yeah, he's coming. I'm not gonna feed you. Okay. He's very confident. Look at the spiders just all through here. Just all through this. Just built this like crazy web. All right, let's walk back through the coal loader again, because that's where I need to pass to get back to my car. I can't actually pass on the foreshore because, like I said, there's some work being done. Oh, spiderweb. Yeah, we'll go through it again, have a look. I think there is some indigenous history that I might have missed. So yeah, I'm currently here in this picnic area. You see there's car parks all alongside here. Coal loader, started here, worked my way through here, and now I'm gonna come back around here. This is where all the work's happening, so you can't actually go through here and alongside Berries Bay. So I'm gonna have to come back through the coal loader again and back to the car, which is parked somewhere up here in Waverton Park. Looks like there's a cafe here at the coal loader, so let's have a look at it. This is the actual centre of sustainability. It's housed within the caretaker's cottage. When the coal loading operation ceased, the whole building was used as a residence by the site caretaker and his family for some 15 years before coming under management of the North Sydney Council. Good dog. Good boy. Oh, there are some tourists. Interesting. It literally is like a sustainability center where kids can learn about living sustainably and whatnot. Should I go in there? Maybe I should, yeah, just suss it out. This area once was an important gathering place for local Aboriginal peoples before white settlement and the development of Waverton Peninsula for industry. Just some like historical artifacts. What? Renewables are catching coal. In 2023, renewables supplied 35% of Australia's total electricity generation, and over the last 3 months of 2024, they supplied 46. Wow. This is the facility, like a model of it. Things for the kiddos to sort of understand our nature and what's out there. And not just for kids, I guess for everyone, right? Like, I don't know half this stuff either. Yep. And that gets us to the other side. The engravings were first recorded by non-Aboriginal people in the 1840s, but later buried during construction of the road and adjacent brick powerhouse building for the coal loader site in the early 1900s. That's such a shame. Later surveys in 1899 and 1963 show that a larger engraving of a whale or a shark is part of a more extensive group of engravings, which include fish, turtles. Where are these? Like, how do I see this? I want to see all of this. This is really fascinating shit. Like, this is stuff I really want to see. I don't know if it's preserved somewhere. I haven't come across it. Maybe put it down below. I'm happy to come back out here and have a look at this. I just can't seem to find the engravings anywhere. They could be either completely destroyed or rehabilitated, or, you know, not accessible to the public just for obviously safety reasons and preserving them. So what a shame. I think I did mention that in a previous video. I'll link it above. That one of my sort of bucket list things is to see ancient engravings, like to see that, you know, a person did this thousands of years ago. Like, for me, that's super fascinating. I've yet to see rock paintings and carvings and, you know, that sort of art. So put it down below if there's anywhere in Australia or Sydney specifically that has, you know, good preserved rock paintings and, you know, ancient art, for lack of a better term. I'd love to see that. Look at this. Oh wow, that's a kookaburra. Just on the floor. What's it doing hunting? Crazy as that, it's just a kookaburra just having his dinner. Well, hasn't his breakfast, sorry. Alright, so heading up this little ramp here, this is where I came down initially. You can do the same loop, I'll put it down below if you're interested in doing the same loop, parking on the Waverton Park side and walking your way through. So that was my day today in Bors Nature Reserve. Hopefully you enjoyed the walk and you enjoyed some of the historical and natural perspectives that I've shared today. Started off on Larkin Street with Will Ashton Lookout, worked my way through the coal loader and ended up at sort of the main Bors Nature Reserve area. If you're in Sydney or if you're spending some time here, come out here. It's a really awesome scenery and just a nice day out to just spend some time with the family and friends, bring your dog. Yeah, really recommend this. If there's any sort of hidden gems in your local area in Sydney or anywhere in the world, feel free to put that down below. I'd love to explore that. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more of this sort of content, feel free to subscribe. I do enjoy, exploring on my own, bit of a solo traveler. So if that's something you're into, feel free to subscribe and come with me on this journey. See you later.